Republican politicians and pundits are always acting like a bunch of tough guys. Their rhetoric is strong and they seem to be fearless. But over and over again, especially since Trump's second term, they have shown how weak and pathetic and feckless that they really are, because whatever Donald Trump wants, Donald Trump gets. And they would never use their own power in Congress or in the media to actually stand up to him. They're there to serve the dear leader. Now, we got this guy over here, which is not that guy. He keeps doing that. This guy right here, his old Tim Burchett. He's made a couple of my stories recently. The last one was during the big, beautiful bill. He was kind of sitting on the fence before, he signed on to it. And all it took was Donald Trump showing up and giving him some merch and some signed hats and told him he was real pretty and he liked the way he looked on TV. And I just think the president is just the greatest man since sliced bread. Oh, my God. Anyway, this is him getting, he seems, these tough guys, but they seem to be a little nervous in the service when it comes to D.C.
He knows it, and the people are being victimized.
Congressman, all I was asking, though, is, again, I was putting those cities up on the screen, Nashville and Memphis, both listed higher, and asking you if you'd like to see, a move to use the Guard there, and you said you wouldn't. You don't want to see federal authorities involved in policing in the rest of the country?
No, unless there's a riot situation where they can come in. National and Memphis are two.
So if there is a protest, that's code for, hey, if there's a whole bunch of liberals protesting, then maybe we'll call in the military.
Democrat-controlled towns, it's just the old school thing, it's just absolute control, and they've had it.
There's nothing old school about employing federal troops on American soil. That's nothing old school. That doesn't happen. It has not happened until now.
For years, and they keep telling the people how bad the others are. Look, let's be honest in this country. All the race baiters on both sides. It's just like overseas in these wars and everything else. If we have peace, they are out of power. They are in business to stir it up, both sides, left and right. And that's on me, and that's on you all at CNN as well. Because, look what's happening in Cincinnati right now. These people got the heck kicked out of them, could have died right there, and now some folks are hollering at these folks that got beat up that it was their own fault. It's their business to stay in power. If we have peace, if we start listening to the Bible and going to church on Sunday and holding our brothers' hands and talking to them about...
Read your Bible, peace through strength. That's what they said in the Bible.
This stuff's over, but they don't want it over. They want to stay in power. And they continue preaching this hate on both sides. We gotta cut that stuff out, man. We got too many big fish to fry. And in this world, look at the Middle East, look at Ukraine, all that. If peace breaks out, Putin ends.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about here.
Dangerous, brother. It is dangerous.
Oh, that's what
everybody knows it. And the people in the office at night. But the other reason is it's too dead.
Okay, so Burchett a few months ago said that he was sleeping in his office, because it was just easier for him to commute, rather than having to commute back and forth, he would just sleep in his office. Now he's using his I sleep in the office as an excuse because it's just so goddamn dangerous out there. I need somebody to walk me to my car because I'm afraid that some thugs and hooligans and some mob of miscreant teenagers are going to come and attack me. Maybe I can get Ilhan Omar or AOC to walk me out there because I'm so scared.
It's out of touch. Its leadership is out of touch. I like the mayor. She's a nice lady. I just think it's way past that. You don't want to go out on the streets at night in Washington, D.C. That's one.
I just mentioned in my last story that I've got a friend of mine who lives in D.C. and she goes jogging at night in the summertime because it's too hot during the day, and she never has any problems. Except now that the military's in town, she's having to, dodge military vehicles on her jog.
I come from a family of public educators. That's one of the reasons I live in my office at night. But the other reason is it's too dadgum dangerous, brother. It is dangerous.
I'm scared shitless.
And the people are being victimized.
I'm just so scared. I'm scared shitless. Oh, my God. I'm scared of my own goddamn shadow. We're tough Republicans. This is from the defense.gov. And a White House executive order also reports that 2024 murder rate in the District of Columbia was 27 per 100,000. So we rounded up to 28 per 100,000 residents and vehicles, yada, yada, yada. 842 thefts per 100,000. I wanted to show you this right here. These are the highest homicide rates in the country. That's per capita per 100,000. So Jackson, Mississippi has 77 homicide per 100,000. Birmingham, 76. Louisville, 59. St. Louis, 52. Memphis, 48. Every last one of these. Cleveland, Ohio is 29. Every last one of these cities, and they're probably not as highly populated as DC, but whatever, they're per 100,000 people, their homicide rate is higher than the District of Columbia. So, I mean, give me a break. Seriously, give me a break. Now, we got Mark Wayne Mullen here, and he is also, nervous and frightened, and he's scared to death that something's going to pop off and a thug. We know what thug is a euphemism for, but some thug is going to come and get him, and and I'm so damn scared, just in case there's a carjacking. I don't even wear a seatbelt because, God damn it, I need to get the hell out of there as fast as I can because I'm a tough guy.
So Senator Mark Wayne Mullen of Oklahoma is not in Washington, but he works there. Senator, do you believe that Chuck Schumer actually roams Washington, D.C. by himself, just thinking totally safe?
Zero chance. There is less than zero chance that Chuck Schumer even walks farther than just getting into his limo that he gets ushered around by his...
Oh, and you don't have a limo. Whatever, man. Sure.
Protective service detail. And let me tell you, he's not walking anywhere by himself. He doesn't walk down the halls of Congress by himself. So there's no chance that is taking place. And we should be applauding President Trump for doing this. I mean, why wouldn't we want people from our states coming to the nation's capital and visitors from around the world come to the nation's capital and feel safe? And you can't. You walk the streets right now around the Capitol.
I mean, ultimately, I mentioned this earlier, but ultimately that's what this is about. This is not about the city residents. This is about, the dignitaries that come to town and the wealthy people that come to D.C. to use it as a tourist stop. It's got nothing to do with the people in the city who overwhelmingly do not want this.
It smells like you're walking into a pot farm.
Oh my God, pot! Clutch my pearls.
Like pot everywhere. People are openly smoking. You have these
oh my God,
running around with no license plates that just zip right in and out of traffic. You have homeless tents set up. But if you come in,
yet again, the whole homeless thing. That's what Republicans, when Republicans see homeless people, they don't think, wow, that is a policy failure. Maybe we should do something about housing these people. It's no, round them up, jail them, or kick them out of town because they are potential criminals.
Through Union Station, sitting out front all around the fountain, there's tents set up. They literally have shut down the fountain because people are taking baths in the fountain. Why wouldn't lawmakers on both sides of the aisle want our nation's capital to be safe and applauding President Trump, who, by the way, said this over 20 times on the campaign trail, that he was going to restore law and order in Washington, D.C. and around the country. So
restore law and order, which means I want it nice and clean and shiny, and I don't want to see any homeless people out there. We got to do something about those homeless people. Can't we put them somewhere? Can't we have a building where we house them? Call it a camp. Call it a concentration camp.
Good on him for keeping his campaign promise.
And he's going to the working class urban areas that are plagued with crime and helping them out first.
Black areas.
A lot of positive social media reports so far. Senator, you told me something in the break that's important. When we look at the numbers and see crime going down, you want everyone to realize something about those numbers.
Yeah, the left media and the leaders in the Washington, D.C., especially the, and I will say this, the very racist mayor, and people may get eyebrows when I raise that, but he's the one that brings in race into the conversation. So he's the one that's pointing the fingers at it, and when you point one finger, you got three pointing back at you. But for him to say...
Boy, I bet you they have... Fox News has a loop of crime on... just a compilation loop that they play every time they talk about any sort of crime. They probably play this thing over and over and over again.
That and flat out lie to the American people. He knows exactly what's happening. Crime is not down. The lack of prosecution is down. They don't allow the prosecuting attorneys to actually prosecute. They've taken all the felonies and they've dropped them down to dang near misdemeanors.
Dang near.
They don't even write the tickets on them. Violations don't even exist in Washington, D.C. Traffic laws
goddamn no cash bail. Oh my God.
It's an absolute lie what they're telling the American people. They just don't enforce law and order in Washington, D.C. That's the only reason why crime is down.
Look at these
Maggie Haberman,
hoodlum thugs.
A sycophant to Donald Trump. In fact, she's a big critic from the New York Times. Said Democrats risk seeming out of touch when they push back on President Trump on his policing takeover. The institutions that find themselves...
When you are hammer, everything is a fucking nail. Do you solve the homeless crisis with bullets and guns? I'm pretty sure that's not how it's done. Not in a civilized society. Do you house them or just lock them in jail? According to this guy and Burchett and Donald Trump, it's let's get rid of the blight of the homeless and stick them somewhere.
In his crosshairs or in his focus shouldn't say they aren't really quite sure what to do, because in some cases, like this case, they know that crime is an issue. Also, two Democrats in particular, first-hand accounts with criminal behavior. You got Angie Craig of Minnesota and Henry Cuellar. Remember this.
I'm going to skip ahead.
Well, Brian, even with the fact that they're not prosecuting crimes, homicide rates in Washington, D.C. is the largest and by far the highest of any other large city in the nation.
I just showed you that.
If you look at car theft only, if Washington, D.C. was a state, Washington, D.C. would be 3 times higher than any other state. And we're talking about a city. We're comparing it to full states. And by the way, I'm not joking when I say this.
Well, I mean... Oh, shit.
Well, Brian,
Sorry.
even with Washington, D.C. would be 3...
Even though I mentioned earlier that, it's lower than the crime rates of many southern cities, but at the same time, D.C. is probably higher in population in just the city than the entire state of Wyoming. But sure, man, however you make that math work.
3 times higher than any other state. And we're talking about a city. We're comparing it to full states. And by the way, I'm not joking when I say this. I drive around in Washington, D.C. in my Jeep, and yes, I do drive myself, and I don't buckle up. And the reason why I don't buckle up, and people can say whatever they want to, they can raise their eyebrows at me again, is because of carjacking. I don't want to be stuck in my vehicle when I need to exit in a hurry because...
Boy, that's a real tough guy right there, man. Real strong guy. Tough guy. Tough guy. By the way, the chances of you getting carjacked are like 30 times less than the chances of you getting into an accident in your Jeep while you driving yourself to work with no seatbelt, and you just get thrown out onto the street and get hammered on the goddamn pavement. But I am scared shitless of a thug coming and carjacking me. Now, you ain't gonna make me wear no goddamn seatbelt. I'm a man. I'm a tough guy. I can handle that shit. But I don't want to see no goddamn thug, so I won't wear a seatbelt so I can run out as fast as I can. Fast as my little legs can carry me. You know, I am a short king after all.
Because I got a seatbelt around me. And I wear my seatbelt all the time. But in Washington, D.C., I do not, because it is so prevalent of carjacking. And I don't want the same thing happen to me what's happened to a lot of people that work on the Hill.
Oh, God. Such weak sauce bullshit. How do I get out of this?
So, Senator, the other thing is it's in your lap when you get back. 30 days is probably going to be up, and he's going to have to ask Congress for permission to keep it going. So if they're seeing positive results, would you be somebody that would vote to extend the National Guard presence, the FBI presence?
All right, so we're moving on here. Now, I wanted to show you this. This was a few years ago. Mark Wayne Mullen, that tough guy there that never wears a seatbelt because he's scared to death of getting carjacked, but he's obviously not scared of getting into a car accident and fucking himself up because he's not wearing a goddamn seatbelt, but he's a tough guy. Now, he was in a Senate committee with Bernie Sanders chairing it, and he's having a conversation with union leader Sean O'Brien of the Teamsters Union. And I want you to keep this in mind. Mark Wayne Mullen, before he was a senator, he moonlighted doing MMA. I don't know how good he was. He was doing it, like on the B and C tier circuit or something like that for a little while. And he talks about it because, he's so proud of his MMA capability. So he's a tough guy. And here he is having a conversation with Sean O'Brien. Let's see how it goes.
What Mr. O'Brien just said about right to work states versus forced work states. I sure remember working pretty hard and long hours. Pretends like he's
Yeah. Working hard hours. He inherited a plumbing business. It's worth like $50 million from his dad. He worked hard, long hours.
made. What a clown. Fraud. Always has been, always will be. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy.
That was a message from Sean O'Brien to Mark Wayne Mullen, who was taking a shot at unions. And Sean O'Brien is like, he's a fucking Boston guy. He's like, what are you talking about? You want to fuck with me? You want to fuck around, tough guy? Come on, cowboy. Meet me out in the street somewhere. I'll fuck you up. I'll crack a bottle over your head.
This is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your
All right.
solution?
No, sit down.
Don't stand up, man. You can show everybody how short you are.
Sit down. Okay. You're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Okay.
Sit down, please.
All right.
Can I respond? Mr.
See
Chairman?
how quickly he jumped up? That's how quick he would jump out of that Jeep just in case there was a carjacker, man.
Hold it. If
Hold
we
on.
can, no,
This is
I have
what
the
he
mic.
said.
I'm sorry.
This is
Hold
what
it.
he said.
Shut
You
up,
have
shut
your
up.
time.
Okay.
Listen to him. But he started it. That's what he put in his tweet. He started it. He's making fun of me, man. He started it. Bernie's like, shut up and sit down, you dumb fuck.
Oh, no, you can't. This is a hearing. And God knows the American people have enough of contempt for Congress. Let's not
I don't
make
like
it worse.
thugs and bullies.
You have,
And that's
you
what-
have
I don't
the
like
mic.
you because you
Hold
just
it.
described yourself.
Hold it. You have the mic.
Yeah.
You have time.
All right.
Make your statement.
Then let's do this, because I did challenge you and I accepted your challenge, and you went quiet.
No, I didn't go quiet.
Hold on.
You challenged me to a cage match,
No,
acting
no,
like a
sir.
12-year-old schoolyard
Hold it.
bully.
Excuse me.
Hold on.
Hold it. No, excuse me. I have the
I
mic.
will say exactly.
Senator
what you
Mullen,
said.
I have the mic. You have questions on any economic issues, anything that said, go for it. We're not here to talk about physical abuse.
You brought.
We're not
him
talking
in.
about, of course I
And,
did.
and let me show you his hearing, because I want to expose this thug.
Oh, now he's a thug. Oh, God. Enough. I just wanted to give you that little blast from the past just to remind you what kind of dipshit-ass tough guy this guy is. Here we got Jeanine Pirro. It's wine o'clock somewhere. Listen here, we're going to do a crackdown, goddammit. Where's my Merlot? I'm going to hit somebody with this bottle, goddammit. We got to crack down on all the thugs that are in D.C. I know I was just appointed to the bench, but goddammit, I'm back at home on Fox News, and I'm going to tell you what I'm about to do.
Everything about the D.C. Council and the laws that they've passed are liberal, they're defense-leaning, and they're not in favor of the citizens of D.C. And that's what President Trump is fighting, and that's what we're going to change. We're going to change the laws. We're going to lower the age of criminal responsibility. We've seen
We're going to get it down to 12 years old, goddammit. We're going to put those little 12-year-old thugs in jail. How dare they say the things and do the things and walk around being all black and stuff.
Much of it. We've seen homicides against young people. We've seen assaults in areas where just a couple days ago a kid gets a fractured nose and gets a severe concussion by 12 and 13-year-olds trying to steal.
Oh my God, it's Chardonnay all goddamn day here at Fox News, and I'm here to tell you I'm coming after your 12-year-olds.
A car. Why? Because they've been allowed to do it. Not anymore. If we have our
Not
way,
on my watch.
we will be able to make D.C. safe again.
God damn it, we're going to make D.C. safe again, like we're making America great again. Lord have mercy. Now, this is actually how it's done. I've spoken before about Mehdi Hassan, and he is a hell of a debater. He is on News Nation, which is a very discount C squad. I got fired from Fox. I got fired from CNN. I got fired from MSNBC. Let's see if I can get a job on News Nation in between conspiracy theory shows. And we got Leland Vittert, who is always, every time I ever see him, he's racking up a new L because he always has debates with people that just smack him around like the dipshit that he is. And of course, he decides to have a little conversation with Mehdi, and Mehdi just kind of I don't know, he just lays the smack on him.
Cops want help. What is the right of the mayor and others to say, no, they don't need it?
I will answer that one right there. Because they have their own police force. Because it is illegal to use military on American soil policing American citizens. Because they have a job to do and they don't need you sticking your fucking, big toe in the middle of this nonsense, adding extra drama to something that they can handle. They don't need you.
The last time I checked, Leland, we're in a democracy, so that's the right of the mayor and the people to say that. I mean, D.C. actually is not part of our democracy, right? The people of D.C. have been disenfranchised for a long time. That's a whole separate discussion.
Oh, yeah, that is very, very true. Something to consider. D.C. is the only city in the country that doesn't have the rest of the rights that the rest of the country has because they have no state. They have no statehood. They are just, a district. So they don't have as many rights as Virginia or Maryland. They're just a district. So, and there have been, the people have floated the idea about giving D.C. its own statehood so it could be able to have money to invest in that kind of thing. But, Republicans definitely don't want that because D.C. is notoriously a Democratic place, and they would not want to have two more Democratic senators and a Democratic representative in the House representing that district.
That we don't have time for tonight about home rule and control by Congress and the fact that they don't have members of Congress, et cetera, et cetera.
But
DC
Trump has the right to do this, so we've agreed on that.
No.
So Trump has a legal right to send troops, and he doesn't have a right to interfere in the government, which he's now trying to do. Only Congress does. But, let's just take this one by one. Statistics that you don't like. The statistics do show that crime is down, violent crime is down in D.C. These are FBI statistics as well as city statistics, as well as every stat out there. It's at a 30-year low, violent crime in Washington, D.C. It's down 35% last year, and as you said, 26% this year. You know who bragged? Leland, you know who?
By the way, every one of these videos keeps showing this sidebar of crime. It's crime everywhere. I guarantee you, if you went to Jackson, Mississippi, or to Tallahassee, Florida, or, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, you would find video of stuff like this, but they're only showing it in the blue cities.
Bragged that crime is down in D.C. by 26% in April of this year?
I'm sure you're going to say Trump did, but I have no idea.
Trump did, yeah, Trump did. They took credit. They said, "Look, crime's down." Ken Martin,
look,
his acting attorney. No, it's important because when they wanted to show the statistics in their favor, they did. Look, it's down. Crime is down in D.C. Homicides are down in D.C.
I think you're making a mistake here because you're making a mistake here because it doesn't matter whether it's up or down. It was at a high and out of control.
Wait a minute. Now it doesn't matter whether it's up or down. Dude, what are you talking about? Seriously. What are you talking about? It doesn't matter. The numbers don't matter. It's how we feel. It's a vibes-based thing. Donald Trump's vibes are like, there's like crime and stuff. So like, we need to like send in the troops and things because it's a, it's a feeling. It's got nothing to do with numbers. Whether they're high, low, who cares?
During the pandemic.
Yes.
Whether it's up or down is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is it still happens, okay? We have video from Friday night where...
Oh, darling, I know that, you might be a babe in the woods, but sweetie, honey, my sweet summer child, there's crime everywhere. Are we going to be sending troops to every place that there's crime? I mean, I thought that's why we had cops. No, but there's crime. But did you know that there was crime? Really? Is water wet? Do we breathe air?
a mob of kids took over a store and looted it. We have video from about a week ago where they beat up this mob of 15-year-olds were carjacking somebody.
2 15-year-olds beat up Big Balls. I don't know if they were trying to carjack him or not. According to the police report, they were trying to carjack him. And those 2 15-year-olds were arrested, one boy and one girl. And Big Balls is laying in a puddle of piss and blood. They really fucked him up. I'm sorry to be laughing at somebody's misfortune, but, you know, until I know his real name and we're just going to call him Big Balls, then, you know, I'm going to chuckle at it. You got your ass handed to you by a 15-year-old girl, son.
Beat somebody up, almost killed them. What about their rights? I'm still trying to understand why, if you're a law-abiding citizen, more police is a bad idea.
This is not police.
But it's not more police, right? It's the National Guard. Fire more police. Did you know that the Trump administration just cut $20 million in security funding to D.C., which is weird because apparently crime is out of control. When you say it doesn't matter whether it's up or down, it does. Some of us believe in truth and facts. When you say, you know, crime should be stopped, of course crime should be stopped, but this is not the solution. Are you planning, or is Trump planning to send the National Guard to every city? Is he going to send it to Aurora, Colorado, which has a Republican mayor and a higher crime rate, violent crime rate than D.C.? Is he going to send it to every city? This is not sustainable, Leland. You're smarter than Donald Trump.
I hope he sends it to St. Louis.
You can't solve the crime problem by sending the National Guard. We're Americans. We don't like the military on our streets. We're not a tin pot dictatorship. We should be able to sort out crime through law enforcement, through policy, which Donald Trump doesn't seem to care about.
So let's put the National Guard aside. Let's put the National.
How can we put them aside? They're literally being used to invade a city. Let's put them aside. Let's stop talking about that part of it because that makes my argument seem really stupid.
What's wrong with having?
No, I'm not going to put the National Guard aside because it's quite important. It's at the core of this. This is about Trump wanting to do a power grab. This is about Trump's obsession with the military. You can pretend it's about. You think it's because Trump cares about crime. And
that's your comeback. Oh, come on, really? Oh, come on. Stop it with the facts, man. It's starting to hurt my feelings.
D.C., really? Because I remember Donald Trump on January the 6th, 2021, not giving
Mehdi, oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
January 6th. Okay,
sorry,
Mehdi, no, Mehdi, come on.
Let me finish my point. This is a short segment.
I know you said that. 150 police officers got hurt.
Hold on.
I mean, he is bringing up. He's like, oh, yeah, I know that at January 6th, 150 police officers, you know, like got hurt and stuff and whatevs, you know. But crime in D.C. He doesn't give a fuck about those people. You know, the Blue Lives Matter, except for D.C. Metro cops that got their ass handed to them by a mob of about 7,000 MAGA psychos. And 1,600 of them got arrested, and Donald Trump pardoned every last fucking one of them. But crime, right?
You gave Bill O'Reilly a lot of time. Let me give an answer. I'm here for much shorter time. Let me speak. On January 6, 2021, you may want to move on for it. We all watched police officers in D.C. being attacked by a Trump-supporting mob, 150 injured, 600 people convicted.
Mehdi, you're going to sit here. We know the statistics of January 6th. Mehdi, you're going to sit here.
You're going to sit here and give me facts that just destroy my argument, and God damn it, I don't like it. So I am going to block it and filibuster it and go, come on, man. And I'm going to keep my eyes closed because I'm terrified of what you got to say. Just come on, man. Come on.
Mehdi, you're going to sit here. Mehdi, you're going to sit here and say if Trump cures cancer, then January 6th was terrible. Okay, the fact of the matter is you can't have an argument. You can't have an argument about what's happening on the streets of D.C. without going back to January 6th.
Because it's about
you
Donald
won't
Trump.
talk about actually the crime.
Donald Trump, Leland. But Leland's
no,
not
it's
Donald Trump.
not. It's about how to have people be safe.
I said to you, Donald Trump doesn't care
Then
about
let's
crime.
talk.
Honey, what was that saying? If you trade in your freedom for security, you will eventually have neither freedom nor security. I think that was Benjamin Franklin. But, we want people to feel safe, and come on! Stop with the January 6th stuff. Come on, stop. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear you. La, 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 la. I'm not listening to you, Mehdi, because you're saying facts that I don't want to hear. Stop it.
You said, yes, he does. And I said, I'm going to give you evidence to prove he doesn't. If he cared about crime in D.C., why did he pardon 600 people who assaulted police officers? You can't come and make this emotional
claim. Oh, come on, Mehdi. You can't. You're talking about completely different things.
You don't actually care about crime, then.
You cannot talk about this.
So he's talking about, like, poor people crime, like looting stores and robbing convenience stores. He's not talking about, the lesser crime of trying to sack the fucking Capitol and hang the vice president. Sure, man. Let's go to those important things, like a 7-Eleven getting robbed, or getting fleeced for candy bars. Let's worry about the serious stuff, like, some Apple store had their iPhones, taken from them. Let's talk about the real thing, not about cops getting beaten up and the Capitol building getting invaded by a bunch of MAGA psychopaths who shat on the floor. Ew.
There's completely different things going on.
Why?
Like, we're going to cut away from this so we can't look at Mehdi, and we're just going to show you the B-roll right there in the A-frame.
I care about crime or I don't.
Where was the National Guard? Where was the National Guard on January 6th, 2021
come on. You can't
in DC?
No. This is silly.
Day.
This is absolutely silly, Mehdi.
Seriously, it's not silly, honey, because Donald Trump was the president at the time. And the whole time the riot at the Capitol was going on January 6th, Donald Trump was sitting there with his thumb up his fucking ass, not calling the National Guard. But now that this whole Epstein thing's in, now that he wants to go full fascist, now that he has all the power and nobody is standing in his way, now he wants to use the military. But come on, Mehdi, come on.
Can't do this. Because it has nothing to do with what's happening or what the arguments are right now. Okay, and you can't. No, it has nothing to do with it.
Crime matters in D.C. The victims of crime matter in D.C. What about the cops in D.C.? And I'm
the
saying
only person who died on January 6th was a Trump supporter, and you can't talk about what's happening on the streets right now.
Let me know when you want me to speak.
I see a lot of cops on the street.
No, you can't talk about you cannot talk about this without talking about January 6th or anything else. You won't have an argument on the merits. Mehdi, thank you as always.
Oh, thank you. Wow, that's some bitch ass shit. Yo, you don't want to talk about it anything anymore that I want to talk about, so I'm just going to end this thing right now. Honey, Mehdi smacked you around like a redheaded stepchild, for God's sakes. Look, here's the thing. Republicans are weak little bitches. They act tough. They talk tough. They talk a tough they talk a tough game, but they are weak. And they defer to their daddy. I mean, for God's sakes, they were literally calling him daddy. Daddy's home. Daddy's going to give you a vigorous spanking. You guys, I mean, look, other than the fact that you just suck and you're scared shitless of your own goddamn shadow, but you are desperate to get out there and show fealty to the dear leader. But when January 6th was happening, you could not give two shits about it. You don't care. So don't give me this, I am worried about crime in Washington, D.C., when the criminal in chief is pardoning all of the people that sacked the fucking Capitol, that went on, after he pardoned them, went on to do other crimes and armed robbery. And I'm pretty sure one of them got arrested for sexual assault after Donald Trump pardoned them. Come on, man. This is some silliness. This is absolute silliness. And you all know it. Whether you're Jeanine Pirro, Tim Burchett, Mark Wayne fucking Mullen, or, Leland Vitter, you guys are just a talking point machine, and you don't really care about what real facts are. You just cherry pick the facts that you want to support your little bullshit supposition that Donald Trump is doing the right thing by employing military on American soil. The Constitution be damned. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. Keep rocking.